Hi, I'm Pav.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to the Top 10 of Anything podcast.
Let's start the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There are only 12 musical notes, but if you arrange them into a system of chords and melodies, add emotional lyrics, then you have the power to make someone cry with a song. A song can break your heart, lift you up, keep you going. Prepare for tears as we count down our top 10 songs that make us cry. Here's our own little heartbreaker Neil with 10 tear-jerking music facts.
Thank you very much, Pav. So here we are. Rolling Stone wanted to find out what everybody's favourite sad song was. So they sent out a poll and did a survey on it. So here it is, as voted for by the readers of the Rolling Stone. At number 10, they chose Hank Williams' I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. At number 9, Alice in Chains, Nutshell. At number 8, John Prine, Sam Stone. It's making me giggle like a little girl.
You ain't heard anything yet.
At number 7, Pearl Jam, Black. At number 6, George Jones, He Stopped Loving Her Today. At number 5, Nirvana, Something in the Way. At number 4, Harry Chapin, Cats in the Cradle. Is that actually crying?
That is crying. I guarantee that is crying. That's what it said on the file anyway.
Yeah. At number 3, REM, Everybody Hurts. Number 2, 9 Inch Nails, Hurt. And
Wait, please.
the winner by a long margin was Eric Clapton, Tears in Heaven.
Oh, what a heartbreaking way to start.
Oh.
What a heartbreaking way to start. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's the top 10 songs that make you cry. And before we actually get into that and we introduce our wonderful guest for the evening, we've got 2 more Patreon toppers, Neil.
Woohoo! Thank you very much.
Woohoo, indeed. It is Wayhoo. It's Kirsten Prince. No, Prin. Kirsten Prin, not Prince. Prin. And Lindsay Pananen. I think that's
Thank you very much, Lindsay.
Lots of A. So thank you, Kirsten, and thank you, Lindsay. We will see you in the future, I'm sure, to come be a guest on a future podcast, which is exactly why the lovely Rachel is with us. Hello, Rachel.
Hello. Good afternoon from beautiful Long Beach, California.
Yes, and you just gave us a little flash. I didn't mean it like that, but you just showed us outside your front window. Oh my God, it must be amazing. You've got a beautiful beach, a beautiful blue sea. You live in Long Beach, is that right?
Yep. Me, Snoop Dogg, Sublime, we're all here.
Oh, it's just
in the same building.
I wish they were my neighbors. It'd be better than who I have, but that's all right. Yeah, I've been in Long Beach for 15 years. I grew up in LA. So you probably get a little SoCal feel with my songs.
Right. Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Then we've also got an absolute mountain of honourable mentions that I will need to get through a little bit later on. So we will get straight on with the matter at hand. Now, I don't know about you two guys. I put my first version of the top 10 together on Friday, sat in this very seat, and was an absolute mess. I was crying my eyes out while I was putting it. And then I ended up changing it yesterday I think I got rid of 6 of the 10 that I had, and I had to put another 6 different ones in because they came into my head. Thought, oh no, should have that one. Should have that one.
So you genuinely cry with a song. This
Yes.
might sound a bit bizarre. Rachel, do you?
If I'm in the right mood, yes. If it catches me at the right time.
Okay. I have to hand on heart say I don't think I've ever cried at a song.
Really?
Mm.
Your top 10 is going to be interesting then.
Well, it's all thrash metal.
Right. See, I don't know whether it was because I was singing the songs like at the top of my voice as well. And there's times I've had this when I'm actually properly singing a gig. There'll be times when songs will just get the better of me and I'll get them stuck in my throat, or something will get in my head, and which a couple of them are in my top 10. Anyway, let's
But that's
find
not to
out.
say I don't get moved by music. Let me say that. I do get moved by music.
Yes, you haven't got a heart of stone, have you, Neil?
Not quite.
Not quite.
It's like plaster cast.
Yeah. Right then, Rachel, give us your number 10 song that makes you cry. I'm going to see if I can play little bits of them while we're talking.
Okay. My number 10 is Nothing Better by the Postal Service. And it's basically a song about a breakup, and it's a duet. So you've got the male and the female voice kind of telling their sides of the story, and he is begging to make it work, and let's work through it, and there could be nothing better, and she is shooting him down at every opportunity possible. And it ends somewhat inconclusive on let's say goodbye, and I don't know, it leaves a lot to the imagination, and I think it's a very relatable situation for a lot of us.
I don't know this
though, tune-wise.
So
what was it?
Better.
Say what it was called again. I'm going to put it on my list.
Nothing Better by the Postal Service.
Correct.
Now, so what year are we talking? Is this quite a new song, or?
Oh gosh, that must have been maybe mid 2000s, maybe 2008. Postal Service is a side project with Ben Gibbard from Def Cab for Cutie. You may have heard of.
I have heard of them, especially a couple of honorable mentions for them that I did notice. Yeah. This is the one thing with our wonderful American listeners and people we've had on the podcast is we get all these names that we've never heard of before, and it ends up where you start diving into some of these. I mean, I've started really listening to the Oingo Bongo, Bongo.
Yes.
So I really started to get into them, and I would never have heard of them if it hadn't been for talking to guys like you. So yeah, that's okay. Great way to start. Okay, Neil, you're number 10.
So mine's a Radiohead song, surprise. It's not No Surprises. It's Fake Plastic Trees from the Benz album. Obviously, being in the 90s, it was part of my 20s. And it became very poignant to me, this song. Just when I ever felt glum or I had an argument or had a breakup, this was my go-to song. I'm not too sure. I've never really looked into the meaning of it, why they wrote it or what it's about. But yeah, it moves me. Are you familiar with this one, Rachel?
This is one of the ones I know, Rachel.
I am.
Right.
I'm not a big Radiohead fan.
I'm with you there, Rachel.
I'm in the minority.
I'm with you there.
I'm in the minority, but it is. I think it's a beautiful song. It's not their experimental phase. It's when they were just. To me, it was when they were normal. If anything can be normal.
I was just about to say. To me, it's like one of their normal, very inclusive songs that you can sort of get into. Do you know what I mean? It just seems like a good song.
It is a good song. It's a lovely song.
Now that I can hear it in the background, it is recognizable now that I hear it.
There isn't many Radiohead songs that I would say that I would know, straight by listening to it, but that's one of the ones. That and probably Creep are the only two I think I really, really know. But
right.
Okay, that's a fair enough start. I mean, they're known to be quite a downer kind of band, though, aren't they?
They do a lot of what I would call depressing songs. A lot of people class it as, I mentioned No Surprises, which I would have thought is probably on a lot of people's lists. But you know, and I understand where they come from, but at the second in second nature, it's beautiful music to me personally.
Yeah. It's a nice song. Yeah, I'll give you that one. It's a nice song. Okay, my number 10 comes from a movie. Did it play? Yeah, it's at the very, very start of the movie, I think. This is Ashes by Celine Dion from Deadpool 2. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it. It's the start of the movie. It's very like James Bond, where they have like somebody dancing and there's gunshots going and looking through the. It's a fantastic song. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of Celine Dion. I think she can be a bit sort of over the top, a bit like Mariah Carey, sort of like using 12 notes when one note will do, kind of thing. But I don't know if you can hear
I'm not overly familiar with Celine Dion's catalogue. I really
no, I'm not. But it was because they did like a really good video, and it's a very Bond sounding song,
right?
And the video is very good because Ryan Reynolds dressing up as Deadpool, doing his Deadpool stuff. But then
I recall the opening, but I don't recall the song. I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah, but the video is very much where it's just Celine Dion singing on a stage, and then it's obviously a woman dressed up as Deadpool doing all kinds of amazing dancing around her and stuff, and then a little bit of banter at the end with Ryan Reynolds. But it is just a fantastic song, and there is a version on YouTube, like on a piano, that's like a key lower, so I can almost sing it. But like she's got an amazing voice, don't get me wrong, she's got an amazing voice, but it's a fantastic song. And I think Deadpool 2 is a really, really good movie. And it's a great way to start the song. And I think there's also a slow version of Take On Me during the movie as well, which is really emotional with what happens in the movie. I'm not going to spoil the movie on this one because that's not a job for this
not this podcast. So why does it make you cry though?
Because it's just a beautiful song,
right?
And it's also the words in it. It's all about loss and about being down and rising up from the ashes of that. And those kind of things just really get me when it comes to. Then again, all good songs are about being lonely and loss and death and the death of love and stuff like that. God, this is gonna be a rip-roaring positive gig. But yeah, I don't know if any of you guys, Rachel, have you heard this one?
I haven't heard it, and I also haven't seen Deadpool 2, so I guess I have some homework to do after this.
I think you do. Have you watched the first Deadpool?
I have seen the first one.
I think it's better than the first one.
Oh, really?
I do, yeah, I do. I think it's got a really nice story.
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I'll have to watch it again. I've only seen it a couple of times. It sounds awful, doesn't it?
Well, not really. That's fine. Okay, Rachel, your number 9, please.
All right. This is The Crane Wife 3. Now there's a Crane Wife 1 and 2, and I will say if you listen to all 3 of them in a row by the Decemberists, it's to me it's not necessarily sad, but there's sort of this like emotional arc, right? And if you listen to all 3 back to back, it's like, I don't know, 14 minutes or something of this emotional journey. And by the time it sort of peaks in the 3rd one, I'm usually a wreck.
Oh, right.
I think the chorus, it's like, I will hang my head low, and it's very, I don't know. It tugs at my millennial heartstrings. I think this is like the Decemberists are a big band for my generation for sure. So
again, never heard of. So it's the Crane Wife 3. So it's like a trilogy of songs, is it?
Yeah, 1 and 2. It's actually they've combined 1 and 2 into one song, and there's the Crane Wife 3, and yeah, all 3 back to back are just really a lot. It's that build of emotion, and it's either like you're either going to cry or have some other release, shall we say? So,
okay. Are they the Decemberists? Do they sort of do that sort of music? Is that primarily the type of music they do, or?
Yeah, they're a bit folky. You might know them. I think one of their songs is in the last episode of The Office, like the American Office.
Right.
They got a little popular off of that. when they're at the Schrute Farms, you know, that's like a very folky sort of moment. Yeah, they're a good band. I
Be
think
interesting to check them out.
Portland.
Another one to add to the list, Neil. Just another one to add to the list.
Know. But every day's an education.
Indeed. So when you said you mean the very last episode of The Office, right?
Yeah,
okay, because that was the wedding, wasn't it? That was
exactly.
Right.
And I think when all the Schrute relatives gather on the porch, there's a December song that plays in the background. Not this song, but a different one.
Okay.
I probably recognize it then as soon as I heard it if it's that one. But
yeah.
Okay, the Decemberists, the Crane Wife 3. Okay. God, I sounded like an actual radio DJ then, didn't I? Like I was introducing a song. Go on then, Neil. You're number 9.
So it's Marillion and it's Sugar Mice. So it's going back to the 80s. It's a bit of English prog rock. Have you heard of Marillion, Rachel?
Not at all. Foreign language to me right now.
Yeah, right. So it's not everybody's cup of tea, but they did get quite successful in the 80s in the UK. But this song just holds a lot of my teenage angst. It's one I listen to. Obviously, the lyrics are very poignant about breakup of family and not seeing the kids. But I didn't go through any of that with my own family. But I had a cousin that did. And he always used to come and talk to me, and I introduced him to this song, and he took it on board when he was younger, and he grew to love it loads as well because it became poignant to him and who he was going through. And I just say it's a lovely song. It really is a lovely song. And I recommend anybody still go and have a listen to this because I don't think it's dated at all myself, but a lot of people will probably argue.
Well, as anybody that has listened to this knows, you're a big Marillion fan, aren't you?
Yeah, well, the Fish era Marillion, there you go, which was from 82 to 88. Those albums I'm more of a fan of than the newer ones.
Because I'm sure that younger people listening to this now, isn't there a more up-to-date act called Fish?
There is, but spelled with a PH.
Oh, is it spelled with a PH?
Yeah.
Right, because when I was listening to, I can't remember what it was. It might have been K-Rock, and they started talking about Fish. I thought, oh my God, he's making a comeback?
Yeah.
But that's not that. So
No,
Rachel, that'd be
more
your expertise, I think.
Yeah, that Fish is actually, I put them in the same category as like the Grateful Dead. They're like a jam band.
Oh, right.
And I think actually the lead singer from Fish has been filling in for, Jerry Garcia with some of the Grateful Dead gigs these days.
Oh, right. Okay. So maybe not quite as hip and up to date as I think they are then.
Maybe not as current or right. Not new, but I guess they're still kind of out there touring all the time. So they're still around.
Okay. Right.
Wow.
So for my number 9, this was one of the ones that popped in yesterday. And it's not as well, it is a song, but it's just an instrumental. And for me, it's one of the most sort of uplifting. If you go on YouTube and there are things like what are they called? Like where they put loads of clips of amazing sporting moments or things like that. They sometimes they sometimes use this music underneath it, and it's I don't know how you say it. Hopipola by Sigur Rós.
Okay.
But there is something about it, and again, I was listening to this yesterday in my car at work. I'm such a pussy. It's unbelievable. I was just like, the tears were just like coming down my face. I wasn't even watching anything inspirational. I was just listening to the music, and I love the way it builds. I love the way it is supposed to be, I think, uplifting. It's not supposed to be something that makes you cry in a sad way. But I just love it. And I've never heard anything else by Sigur Rós. I don't know what other kinds of music they do. And it's not really instrumental because they're singing, as you can hear. But especially when the pipes start coming in at the end, it's just a fantastic piece of music. So
it's a lovely song. That one.
I don't know if so have you heard this one before, Rachel?
Yes, so Sigur Rós is wild. They're Icelandic, but they don't sing in Icelandic. I think they've completely made up their own language that they sing in, and it's quite the band. Yeah,
really?
College days. I definitely listen to them.
Oh, awesome. Well, there you go. Look, see,
Yeah.
look, you knew more about the one that I've chosen than I did. That's good. That's what I love. I'm gonna have to listen to some more stuff of theirs because that's. I just noticed one of their other songs is called Gobbledygook. I mean, you have to listen to something if a song's called Gobbledygook. I mean, that's perfect. Right, Rachel, you're number 8, please.
Okay. Number 8 is Trouble by Yusuf / Cat Stevens. And I don't know if you all are familiar with Harold and Maude, the great movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the scene in that and just that song in general is a bit of a tearjerker for me.
That's amazing.
I love that film.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie.
Oh, Pavla.
It's
you
one of
need
those
to put
ones
that
on
your
list.
list.
Yeah, it's one of those ones on the list. So is it a song that's like, is it the theme of the movie or is it something that's in the movie?
It's in the movie. Now, the whole soundtrack is Cat Stevens music.
Right.
But this song in particular is at sort of an emotional peak, shall we say. And, I went to a screening, a drive-in, this was during COVID, so a drive-in screening, and it was on Valentine's Day because it's a bit of a romantic film. And they had introduced it and said that without Harold and Maude, there would have been no Wes Anderson. And I do have to agree. I think there's a lot of similarities. So anyway, if you like Wes Anderson, you'll like this film.
Oh, right. And who directed Harold and Maude?
I can't think off the top of my head. I should know this.
Come on, Rachel. So, Rachel, you know that Sigur Rós come from Iceland and have made their own language up. That's fine. No, that's fine. Someone will tell us. Or unless Neil, can you?
Oh man, I know it. I do know.
I'll have a look in a second. Then I'll have a look in a second. Okay.
Yeah, I do know it.
But that's fine. Okay, that's another. Great, so Harold and Maude is another one to go on.
Yeah, it's a great movie. But Cat Stevens, I think, has got a really unique and what I call a soothing voice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree.
It relaxes you, doesn't it?
Morning has broken.
Has it?
It has. Well,
right.
No,
okay.
not here.
Oh.
Go on then, Neil. You're number 8.
So it's a bit of Damien Rice. You can't have a sad song without putting Damien Rice on the list, and it's 9 Crimes for me. I think it's a wonderfully moving song. Lisa Hannigan does the female voice on it, and I think her voice is beautiful. He seems to have gone a little bit out of favor now, Damien Rice, to me, and yet he's still making just as magical music. I think he could compliment himself by getting Lisa Hannigan back, but obviously she's gone on to have her own solo career. But this was used in one of the Shrek films as well, wasn't it? Was it number 2, I think, or number 3? I can't remember, but it's a lovely song. Do you know Damien Rice?
I do. Blower's Daughter, is that his? I think.
Yeah, from the movie.
Yeah, I considered that.
Yeah, he does write a lovely ballad, does Damien Rice, and again, he's got a voice that I absolutely think is magical. A big fan of Damien Rice. It's very, I don't want to say easy listening because that is damning it with false. It's just lovely, relaxing, and it's a great artist to get into if you're ever feeling a bit down in the dumps. It complements it very well.
Okay.
Are you a fan?
I bought his first. What was the name of his first album?
Letter O.
Oh, right. Okay. I remember, but whichever album had Cannonball, wasn't it? I think
that was the same one as the big hit.
That was it. I bought that album and I really liked it because it was the same as like when David Gray, I think, came out at the same sort of time.
Yeah.
And Newton Faulkner was another one. They all sort of came out at the same time. There's like sort of male singer-songwriters. And they all had like one massive hit, but then everything else was a little bit smaller and stuff.
I mean, this one, the 9 Crimes, was quite a big hit. Like I said, it was used in one of the Shrek movies. The video, I think, is lovely. Quite a bizarre video, but it's got a real sweet element to it. I'd highly recommend people check out the video for it.
Okay. Well, we'll put the video in the video playlist.
There we go.
For our Patreon, our lovely Patreon people. Okay, my number 8. I want to make sure I get this. Oh, why tell you I'm not typing it in there because I'm not doing it on there. Such a knob. My number 10. My number 8. Sorry, I all over the place.
What have you been drinking?
I'm all over the place.
He's crying.
I had to have an Adele song on, so I decided to have Hello, mainly because when we went and saw her at Wembley, which
was the very last gig she did.
That was the very last gig
wasn't it?
before she ended up like having to cancel because of her throat, and she did have problems with her throat on the night, but she was amazing. And there was this one and Set Fire to the Rain were the two that I were going to have in my top 10, mainly because live I was a mess. I absolutely love Adele, and I mean like physically and emotionally love Adele. And there was just something about hearing the songs live with her singing them. She was only singing them to me. That was the thing. She was only singing them to me on that night. And I just absolutely sort of, I couldn't fall in love with her anymore. Just be able to sing. I couldn't sing the songs back because I was just so emotional doing it. And my wife was like looking at me wondering what the hell, what's going on? What is wrong with you? But she even said that she thought it was fantastic seeing her live. I've been really disappointed with her last album though, and her latest album. It's been a bit.
I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, there's not been anything that really sort of grabbed me. Are you an Adele fan, Rachel?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly know the hits. I liked, was it Skyfall, the Bond film she did the song? You know, I thought that was quite good. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, but I'm sure she was great live. She's clearly very talented. So.
Yeah, and obviously she's got a fantastic band behind her as well. But it's the fact that she doesn't really, she doesn't care. She'll swear on you know, she's got like a mouth like a docker when she's on online. She'll swear and she'll F and blind, and it's great. She's really really good live. But yeah, I had to have one. I had to have one in there. Okay then, Rachel, you're number 7, please.
All right, again, probably one that's new to you. Your Best American Girl by Mitski.
Ooh,
and
okay.
Mitski, yeah, she's a real force. She is kind of known for playing all the instruments herself in the studio and having sort of very tight control over her music and being a bit of a perfectionist. But this song is off of an album called Puberty 2. So you can, I guess it was a time in her life she was reimagining herself or something. And she's Asian American, and I think this is just about, you know, her being American but not quite fitting in, and sort of meeting her boyfriend's family and you know, them maybe having questions about her, and just that, I guess, that sense of really not fitting in and feeling othered, and it's very angsty. So it's sad, but it's also a little angry. And I got to see her live, and very, I think very emotional. So
That's not the same person that's just been supporting Harry Styles, is it? Or was that somebody completely?
Oh, it may be.
Somebody completely different.
That would be such a good show. I need to get tickets right now. If that's the case.
Yeah, because there was somebody. I might be way off. But I'm going to have a look at that in a minute. Because there was somebody that that has been supporting Harry Styles, and like the crowd were like very split on her. They didn't. But that name rang a bell as soon as you said that name. Mitski. I don't know. I'm going to have a look, but yeah, okay. Another one for the list.
Yeah,
another one for the list.
absolutely.
While you say yours, Neil, I will have a look and see if that is the same. See if that is
Okay.
the same person.
I just did. It certainly is her. Yep.
Is it? There you go.
Wow, there you are.
Very good.
What a show that would have been.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it.
Sorry.
Oh, no, look at disappointment.
That's
well,
fine.
she's
Look,
just
you've
gonna
got
go
that amazing
through
view,
the roof
Rachel.
now.
We've just had Mitski and Harry Styles together, so you know, you win some, you lose some. Never mind. Go on then, Neil. You're number 7.
So this song, all I'll say is Dwight sat in the car from the American Office. REM, Everybody Hurts.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's become a bit of a cliched sad song, and it's always used on the charity videos or when somebody on one of these pop idol shows has a sob story to get through, and it's almost been ruined because of these fuckwits. But it's, if you break it back down, it is a fantastically, and it's an uplifting song. It makes you feel quite depressed and sad, but it is actually, when you listen to it, an uplifting song. And it's still on my playlist now. I still sing along to it. I think it's beautiful. And I think Michael Stipe, I miss REM, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really miss REM. And I think Michael Stipe had such a great voice. And I've grown to appreciate it a lot more over the years, listening, recently over the years, listening to the back catalogue and the newer albums that I bought and never really listened to, but listening back now, I'm really starting to appreciate how great they were. But this still holds it to me. I nearly put Strange Currencies.
Right.
Because I think that's another beautiful song, but I did choose this one because it is the heart tug. And of course, I've listened to this when I've been in a breakup, just like Dwight, sat in my car, howling. But it's a lovely song. I take it you're both fans.
Yeah, I love REM. Rachel?
Yeah.
It's like you get used to them and then they're not there anymore, are they? You've still got their old songs that you can go to.
Yeah,
but...
I miss them. I really miss them at the moment. I think they were just great.
Makes them quite nostalgic,
Mm.
Very, very, for me, like early childhood, and I think of them. So
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see them. I got to see them in Glastonbury.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, 1999, and I still think that's one of the best shows I ever saw. So much so, I've pretty much forgotten the rest of the weekend. Just that set, it literally reignited a stronger love for them to me. And their version of this song live is just beautiful. Everybody around you it's a real harmony you get together. It's lovely.
And also, I'll tell you what, REM songs are some of the hardest songs to sing.
Right.
Because his voice is he's got one of those voices that, like Freddie Mercury or anybody like that as soon as he sings, you know who it is.
Yeah.
You know that's Michael Stipe. And some of the songs, all of the songs are very hard to sing because you end up, when you're trying to sing him, you end up just doing a really bad Michael Stipe impression.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to sing it the way you would sing it, you do it that nasally kind of, and I think he's the only one that can do it. So it's very hard to sing REM songs, I think. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. My number 7, totally selfish. The only reason I cry to this one is because it's whenever Liverpool are playing and the cop starts singing.
Well, yeah.
And then you just, it's just, I mean, I love the song anyway, the Jerry and the Pacemakers version. I absolutely adore that. But any time when I'm watching Liverpool live on the telly and the crowd starts singing, I've been very lucky a couple of times to have been stood in the crowd when they're singing that, and there is, I'm not religious, that is as near to a religious experience as I will ever get in my life, is having 40,000 people all singing that song to welcome your heroes onto the pitch. So,
which as your football team, and even I admire it. I mean, my football team would be listening to fucking Chaz and Dave. But
yeah, there you go. Rachel, just YouTube Chaz and Dave when we finished. If you want an absolute 100% slice of British music and British culture, Chaz and Dave.
Don't knock them.
No, and then also message me and tell me if you can understand what it is they're singing. I would love that. Especially a song called Rabbit. Okay, there's a song called Rabbit. Okay. She's going to write that one down.
Who did? I sure did.
Wonderful.
I've actually never been to a soccer game, football game, but I do have plans to visit your beautiful country, and I'm going to have to go. So
Yes,
I think
come and
you
visit
probably
should.
us.
not till next spring, but
Come to the southwest and we'll take you to Swindon town. I mean, you will never. No, maybe
Come
not.
back.
You'll never come back.
Oh, Pav, we'll do better than that.
We'll
Come
do
to the
better than
Cotswolds
that.
and we'll show you the quaint,
Yes, we'll show you the
lovely
quaintness and the history of like our Roman town and things like that. We'll do that for you. And then we'll sing
Alright.
"You'll Never Walk Alone" to you or something, rather than taking you to Swindon. No disrespect to anybody living in Swindon.
But it is a shithole.
You can't say that now.
Sorry. I live there. My brother lives there.
Well, that is
it's
true.
Close.
That
it
is
a shithole,
true.
But it is.
Okay, okay, Rachel, you're number 6, please.
all right. I'm very excited about this one because I'm going to get to see it live soon. So this is Samson by Regina Spektor. And you may know her from the Orange is the New Black theme song. But this is one of her older songs. Yeah, she's got a great voice. I just bought my sister selfishly some tickets to see her. Like, hey, I will take you for your birthday, but that means I also get to go see one of my favorite artists.
Nice way to do it.
Yeah.
I like
And
the way
then you're the
Rachel.
hero. You're the hero then, but you get something out of it. Nice. See, I've
I'm
yeah. So
a
which
little
is
calculating on that part. But
which is the Orange is the New Black theme? What's that called?
I think it's called the Animals. That's the line that sticks in my head at least. But yeah, she's a great singer songwriter. She even sings in Russian occasionally. Very talented. I've seen her live at least once already, so happy to see her again. And this song, it's pretty moving. I think the lyrics, it is sort of that story of Samson of cutting his hair and what have you. At least she references it. Not that I'm religious, but I don't even know what to say. I mean, she's got crazy lyrics about a slice of Wonder Bread, and she rhymes that with "went back to bed" and "not a hair left on his head," and it's somewhat nonsensical in a way, but just I don't know. Her voice and the melody is very touching. So it's on my list.
Okay. I mean, I'm obviously will be listening to all these when I put the video playlist together. So, Neil, if I don't call you like an hour after I've done that, can you call the police? Because there may be something, I might have done something.
2 little legs dangling in the doorway.
Yeah. The next Zoom video.
Wellness check.
My legs will be just like that. Well, my legs are normally just like that anyway. Go on then, Neil, you're number 6.
So it's I'm a big fan. A lot of people I know like them. I'm not sure Pav does. It's Joy Division and its Atmosphere. I know it sort of regained a bit like the Kate Bush song has recently, and it gained a bit of traction because they used it in one of the series of Stranger Things. But this always takes me back to a real poignant moment of when I was still married and my daughter had just started secondary school and she was really struggling with secondary school. And I was listening to the Joy Division album and this came on and my daughter sat next to me and burst into tears and she begged me not to let her go to school. She absolutely begged me. And the big softy I was, I said, all right, we'll phone in sick for you. But it really reminds me of that and the vulnerability of a child and, and your own children. And yeah, it moves me every time. It just takes me back to that moment. She never let go of me all day, if you know what I mean. I was her hero that day. And this song reminds me of it. And I actually think it's a beautiful song. Absolutely beautiful song. Are you a fan of this one, Pat?
No,
you're a bit suspect of Joy Division.
I just am. I'm obviously in the minority because everybody we've had a podcast with where we've mentioned Joy Division have always said. I mean, you were nodding there, so I understand that you must like Joy Division then, Rachel.
Yeah, I do. They're one of those bands I would say I'm sort of a passive listener, where if I hear a song, it's clearly Joy Division. They're very recognizable, and I generally enjoy it. But I have to say I've never bought an album or anything. But Yeah, I do quite like
Worth
them when I
getting
hear 'em.
into, Rachel. Worth getting into the albums.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
just don't. I don't understand. They seem very depressing. He seems to sing out of tune, so I don't understand why. And it's probably sacrilege to say that. I don't know,
No, because it's
but
subjective, isn't it? It's
but I'm
everybody-
obviously in a minority because so many people say how they love Joy Division.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm obviously
They make me think
wrong.
of is it Donnie Darko? I think has at least one Joy Division song in it.
Long time since I've
That's
watched
great.
it.
I mean, if it doesn't,
Yeah.
it should do, because that
Yeah.
seems to me to be the perfect movie to have a Joy Division song in it. It just,
I
I
think it was
recognize
such
that
a-
song. I do recognize that song, but I think I recognize that song from The Trip with Steve Coogan.
Oh yeah, it was in
Because
there.
when
Yeah.
in the first series, when they're going through the hills of,
Yeah.
I think he's going
They
to
do.
see his mum and dad. I think,
But
And
it was nice it was nice to get the resurgence, not quite to the level of Kate Bush has got recently, but they used it in Stranger Things and it was picked up again. They do tend to use it. They've used it in movies before, and it gets used a little bit. It gets a little bit cliched again.
yeah,
But I just think it was such a sad loss, Ian Curtis. It really was. I'd love to, if he was still with us now, to know what he'd be doing, to know the music that he could have made.
well, he'd probably be sounding like John Bon Jovi and Diana Ross because they're all out of tune now as well.
Where would he'd still make a career out of it? But I do know other people that can't bear it, so you're not the only one.
Oh, well, that's all right then, because I just get the feeling that I'm the only one. The same with Radiohead. Well, no, because Rachel.
Yeah, I was in the minority this time.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah, I don't get that. Okay, my number 6 is my other one that's just a piece of music. I remember hearing this for the first time on the Ricky Gervais show Derek, and I think it's on the pilot episode. And this is Nuvol Bianchi by Ludovico Einaudi. I've butchered that completely, but it is just one of the most beautiful pieces of music. I'll turn it up a little bit. I mean, we're not going to get any money out of this from YouTube on this episode anyway, so. And it's just beautiful, and it is just piano. That's all it is. I think this Ludovico Einaudi is famous for these kind of bits of music, and it'll pop up every so often. You'll hear it in a movie or in a trailer for a movie. But it was the Ricky Gervais series Derek. Have you ever seen that, Rachel?
I have at least seen the pilot. I don't think I continued past that, but
Yeah,
I have seen the pilot.
But his he plays someone who's what's the PC version of what do you call Derek, Neil?
Learning difficulties.
But his favorite, and he works in an old people's home, and his favorite lady that lives there passes away, and this music starts playing, and it kills me every single time. So I had to put that in my top 10, and I only thought about that one because I thought about Hoppy Polo, whatever it's called, by Sigur Rós. I thought that's another piece of music that I absolutely love.
Yeah. Were you a big fan of Richard Clayderman?
I love Richard Clayderman. There's nothing wrong with it.
really?
And Bobby Crush. The names that Rachel has no idea about.
You'll love Richard Clayderman, Rachel.
Yeah, put that on your list, Rachel.
Hear
And
this.
Bobby Crush as well.
We're subjecting you to torture here. I'm
We are.
sorry.
Absolutely. We're threatening with taking her to Swindon, and we're giving her Bobby Crush and Richard Clayderman. We're not nice people, Neil. Goodness sake. Go on then, Rachel. You're number 5 then, please.
Well, probably another offbeat one here. Every Little Hair Knows Your Name by Jens Lekman.
Every little hair knows your. Is that hair as in like a rabbit kind of hair, or as in that? Okay.
Hair on your head, yeah, and it's definitely kind of a breakup song. It's that yearning, that I know you so intensely that at one point we felt like we were one person and now we're split. So full disclosure, I saw Jens perform recently after a breakup. I went by myself, sat in the dark in the theater, and sobbed for probably an hour. So this is based on a very I know. It was a real heartbreaker. And he was playing with like a youth orchestra, so there was, the live strings on stage, and his voice is just crystal clear, beautiful. So if you're not familiar, highly recommend giving him a listen.
Repeat the name of him again, sorry.
Jens Lekman, and it's JENS LEKMAN.
I mean, that's a great title to a song. Every little hair knows your name. That's when you put that in the search. There isn't going to be many other ones you're going to need to find that one, are you?
No, it sounds
lovely. It does. It sounds lovely. Trouble is, if I think of that, every time I think of that now, I'm going to think of you sat in an auditorium by yourself crying.
You know what, though? It wasn't a bad experience at all. I think it was a very cathartic situation. I left there feeling much better, like I'd left it all on the table. So
that's good. That's good. And again, that's another thing that music can do, and it can draw a line under certain things. And like I said in the intro, let you move on a little bit. But great, that's a beautiful one. Okay, Neil, you're number 5.
So I mentioned her in my last one. It's Peter Gabriel, Kate Bush, Don't Give Up. The whole album is superb, but this song is so complimented by Kate Bush. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful. Is it a breakup song? I don't know. Is it when you feel low? I don't know. It's just one of those songs that you put on and you feel sad. It's a bit like Everybody Hurts, yet it's uplifting. It's telling you don't give up, keep going. But I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful song. It's a song, if I was ever a songwriter, I wish I'd written.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
I'm kind of sad I didn't think of this one.
Oh,
I wish I had thought of this one first. It's such a good song. That's good.
Yeah, and I'm so excited because Peter Gabriel's got a new album coming out.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
And is it new stuff, or is not like stuff, reworking?
Brand new, 20 years after his last one.
There you go. Why so soon, Peter?
Yeah, well, he always takes a long time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It better be bloody good. We find
Which then, I'm assuming then would mean that he's going to be out on tour again then.
Yeah, and I'll be there again.
Yeah. Fair play. I actually, potentially, before I changed my top 10, I had 2 Kate Bush songs in my top 10.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had Wuthering Heights because there was something about that song, especially the bass line. The bass line of that song is beautiful, and the vocals, and This Woman's Work was the other one that I had.
Right.
Which, I don't know if you've seen the video to that one. It's got Tim McInnery and Kate Bush is playing his wife, and like he's waiting in the hospital and things are going wrong and stuff, and it's so heartbreaking.
I thought you were going to say The Man with the Child in His Eyes.
Well, that's another great one.
That's a beautiful song. She wrote that when she was 13. That Man with the Child in Her Eyes. There you go. There's a little fact for you.
Why wasn't that at the start of the show, Neil?
Oh,
yeah. Okay, so my number 5. I don't know how many. I think I've probably spoke about this musical and the songs from it. I think every episode we've ever done of this bleeding podcast, Neil. I had to choose one from The Greatest Showman. Nearly every song when I'm watching the movie makes me cry, but I decided to use From Now On as the song that just gets me. I can sing this one, but I can't sing it, if that makes sense, because I choke up before I get a chance to actually get into it and sing. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful song. I could have probably, like I said, chosen any song. This Is Me is another one that's great from The Greatest Showman. It just means a lot. And I said before, you see the video of, I can't remember the name of the lady that sings This Is Me, but her doing like almost like the rehearsal version of it. She's finding it very hard to keep everything going. But this, I think, in the actual movie, the context of the movie, this is the one that hits the hardest, I think, for me. But then I just cry at the whole movie. I don't know what it is. I still don't know what it is about that movie.
I must watch it again. Yeah,
I can't. Rachel?
I've never seen it. I hear you talk about it on here all the time. I know, and I've told myself I have to watch it. So
to be fair, with the amount of times that we've talked about it, you probably don't need to watch it now. You probably know everything there is about it. Like, you don't need to. We've told you everything about it. But it's a great. I mean, you know, we've got a top 10 movie soundtracks coming up, and then this one's going to be very high on my top 10, I think, because there isn't a bad song on the whole album. You know, it's very rare you get a movie soundtrack where the songs are in the movie, that, you know, there isn't one that's just maybe a bit dodgy, but yeah, you can't beat it. I'm sorry, you just can't. Okay, Rachel, your number 4, please.
Okay, one of my a little more mainstream here, Danny's song, Loggins Messina. I don't know what it is about the song. I don't have kids, not even sure I like kids, but this song really, really gets me. I think it's like a very good, maybe first dance at a wedding. I don't know. It's very touching thinking about this couple's future.
So who is Loggins and Messina, did you say?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is that the Loggins? Is that Kenny Loggins?
It is. It is.
Wow.
And Messina is also famous from, I think, something else, but I don't truly know. So, but yeah.
I mean, Kenny Loggins to me is a legend, because Footloose to me is, again, one of those perfect pop songs. It's an absolute perfect pop song, but I've never heard of this one before. So Loggins and Messina, is that an actual? Do they have like albums together? And
at least one, at least this one.
Right.
I don't know why. I've really never listened to their other stuff, but this song I feel like you hear this one on the oldies station, and man, it'll just make me cry in the car. It's touching.
Okay, I mean, I love the acoustic kind of stuff, so I feel like I could get into this.
Actually, I'm enjoying it. So I got a bit swept away. Sorry.
Well, there you go. It's another one to check on the video playlist without a shadow of a doubt. It looks like the Glee cast did a version of this as well, apparently.
Oh, well, I'll avoid that one.
Unless that's the Anne Murray version.
Sacrilegious.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Neil, your number 4, please.
So the original of this song was in the Rolling Stones top 10, but I love the Johnny Cash version. It's Hurt. I think this is such a beautiful swan song for him. I love watching the video. Well, it makes me quite not emotional enough to cry, because I haven't yet.
But you just don't do that, Neil, do you? You've got no moisture in your body. How are you going to cry?
I'm just made of sand and dust.
You are.
But this is, I don't know. I don't quite know how to put my finger on it, what it does to me. But it really is a lovely, lovely song. My son, he doesn't play it live, but he plays it at home and he's practicing, and he does a lovely version of it as well, but a little bit different. I think it's just a wonderful song. I mean, I do prefer this song over this version over the 9 Inch Nails one. But I just think it's a beautiful song. It really is.
It is my number 3.
Oh, wow. We've got a duplicate. Yeah. We've got one.
It's a great song.
And, you know, people have talked, since it came out, everyone's raved about it, right? And said maybe it's the best cover ever of any song, you know, things like that. I was sort of dismissed all that until I went to the Johnny Cash Museum, learned all about his life, and at the very end, before they make you exit through the gift shop, they have this video playing on a loop. And they have some of the props from the video, like the chair that he's sitting in and stuff. And I just embarrassingly cried in public, standing there in the museum watching this.
I bet you weren't the only one.
Yeah, maybe that's where I need to go.
I'm sure
I could imagine.
Nashville. Go on,
Right.
And the thing is,
we're all going to Nashville. All right, you're coming again, Rachel. Let's go to Nashville.
It's also the fact that the Logan trailer used that song, and that's one of the best trailers I've ever seen for a movie.
And it's the end credit song as well, isn't it?
It's the end credit song, but it just works perfectly. It worked perfectly for him as a song in a swan song, if you like. But it also worked perfectly for that specific movie. What the movie was about just worked perfectly. Not in my top 10 though. Oh, we could have had one. All of us had one together, but we haven't. Never mind. Great one there though. Okay,
just a quick question.
Oh, yeah, go on.
One. Have you ever sung that in your live sets?
I haven't. Because it's Nine Inch Nails, isn't it? That did the original.
Yeah.
Now, am I right in remembering that Nine Inch Nails? Again, are you a fan of Nine Inch Nails, Rachel?
Not overly. I mean, they were certainly around when I was, growing up. But yeah, Trent Reznor's. I mean, he does all his soundtracks now.
He does.
Yeah. I've listened to the Hurt version. It always sounds like there's a note that's out of tune. Now, is it supposed to be like that?
Oh yes. I know exactly which note you're talking about. Yeah. Yep. Know the note.
Which isn't in the Johnny Cash version. I think that's why I love the Johnny Cash. But I think there's another. It's a bit like Joy Division. Loads of people seem to say how great Nine Inch Nails are. Everything I've listened to theirs, I just cannot get into. I'm such a boring listener
for you.
Eh?
I would have thought it's too heavy for you. Some of it
too heavy for me. Well, possibly.
Do you know what I mean? You're not a big fan of that sort of music anyway, so.
No, but it's just the fact that that was what put me off. There was no reason to have that one note slightly out of tune, and it ruined the whole song for me. But then you listen to the Johnny Cash version, it's like a perfect song. It's heartbreaking, perfect song. Okay, my number 4 is one that you may not have heard of. It's a deep cut for Robbie Williams that was on his last album, Heavy Entertainment Show, I think was the name of the album. And it's a song called David's Song. And I haven't actually looked to see what the song is about, but from the lyrics, it sounds like it's about somebody on their deathbed saying goodbye to people. And it is absolutely heartbreaking. And I prefer this to like Angels, which is probably his biggest song. And I've looked everywhere for the backing track of this. And when I sing along to this, I cry. I just cry. And it's just beautiful. But it's also that there's a couple of lines in it where it's... I'm going to have to turn it down because I will
Don't start bloody crying. No, crying out.
No, but there's a couple of lines in it that were like a certain time a few years ago were meant a lot to me, but not in a positive way, in a negative way. And it really got me thinking about life and things and what your life really means and what should we do. And it gave me loads of questions to ask about myself and my personal life. It was really, really a strange time. And I still think about those feelings whenever I hear the song. It was a little bit higher in my top 10 until I sort of moved things around, but I recommend having a listen to it because it's a beautiful, beautiful song.
What was it called again?
It's called David's Song from the Heavy Entertainment Show album, which was his last proper album. And it's very much in the vein of Angels, which is like his biggest hit. But I think the lyrics to me seem a bit more personal to me. Now,
you see, I could say something controversial about Angels. I think it's one of the most boring songs I've ever heard.
Yeah, and you're quite within your right.
No. That's what I mean. Shows how subjective it is. You see.
Yeah.
And everybody sings along, and I'm thinking, oh, shut up.
Well, that's not nice, is it?
No, it's not. But I don't know. I will listen to this one though. I always like to give things a go. You know,
I recommend it.
I'm open.
I recommend it. But then, like I say, I'm a soppy git, so that's just how it is. Okay, so Rachel, for number 3, you said "Hurt" by Johnny Cash. Wonderful. So Neil, what's your number 3?
So this song, I'm going to give a little backstory to it. I fell in love with it when it first came out in about '96 on their album. I'll tell you who it is in a minute. And then it came back into my playlist big time because a friend of mine ended his own life, somebody I knew. And I sort of found solace in music, but this song in particular, because the singer of Eels, wrote this about his sister. and used her voice, the last known recorded voice, before she committed suicide. And it's called Man Child. And I just think it's beautiful. It's almost, I don't know quite, it's just sums everything up. You know, if you're going through depression, which I went through, you know, a bit of mental health issues in myself over certain things, it helped to know other people were there. And if you read about, I would always recommend people that have got or have struggled, is read the book, The Things the Grandchildren Should Know, that Mark Everett wrote about the troubles. Because, I mean, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have had no luck at all, I think, growing up with his family, the loss of family members and things like that. But it brings it into perspective and helps you. And this song really helped me. And I would hope it would help other people. There you go.
Okay. I don't really know what else to say to that, Neil.
Well, there you go. I brought everybody down now. Yeah. Do you know this song, though, Rachel? Are you an Eels fan?
I don't. You know, I think I've maybe got a song of theirs from like a soundtrack, but I've never heard this. I'll have to give it a listen.
What was their biggest hit, Neil?
People seem to turn to them. Probably Nova Came for the Soul, or E's Beautiful Blues, which was featured in Road Trip. Everybody seems to know, but they had a few featured in Shrek. They had My Beloved Monster, and things like that. So I Need Some Sleep became a hit because it was in Shrek 2 and things. I mean, I'm a huge Eels fan, but yeah, this song, it's on the first album. It's the closing track. And it's beautiful, I think. I really do think it's beautiful.
Wonderful. We'll give that a check. My number 3, I think this hit me more when I became a parent than anything else. It's that feeling that sooner or later, sometime soon, your kids are just not going to care about you and you're not going to be the number one thing in their life anymore. It's from Sarah McLachlan, who's very famous for these kind of songs. And When She Loved Me is what it's called. Jesus, I remember watching this for the first time on Toy Story 2. And it's sort of Jess's song, really.
That's it, yeah.
Absolutely killed me, because that was the first time it made me think that my kids, sooner or later, I'm not going to be the number one person that they're going to turn to if they get hurt, or turn to if they're happy. It's going to be their boyfriends or girlfriends, you know, the people that they love. I'm not saying they don't love me, but, you know, I won't be the number one person that they're going to turn to. It was, and again, every time I listen to it now, it hits the same again. Although now, like, my youngest is 21, so he's got a girlfriend, so you hardly see them, but it still never changes. It still never changes that feeling that, you know, and all you can do is be there for them when they do need you. I'm assuming you're both Toy Story fans.
Oh, who doesn't get? You see, I did get a bit emotional, but I think it's more the images that I saw rather than the song, if that makes sense. The accompaniment of the two together made me sad at the movies.
Yeah, I don't think I had the personal connection like you did, but it is a touching moment in the film, definitely.
I think it's that feeling that, obviously, it's Jessie. What was the name of Jessie's? I can't remember the name of Jessie's child was. But the fact that she's discarded and then she's found again, and then is the best thing that Jessie's child has, but then discards her again, and then that feeling that, you know, you're not needed anymore. And I think that's the thing that hits you, like with your kids, is you feel like they're always going to need you. When they fall over and they scrape their knee, they always come running to you. But then that's why you have grandkids, because then they run to you when they need you.
And you can give them back when you've had a...
And then you can give them back. Exactly. Best of both worlds. Okay, Rachel, you're number 2 then, please.
I guess we're on a theme here, maybe with the children's movies. So, Rainbow Connection by Kermit the Frog.
Oh.
It is. It's a lovely song.
him, yeah,
I
him
didn't
and
even
that little
think about that
banjo
one.
in the swamp
Yeah.
gets me every time.
Oh.
I didn't even think about this when this would have been in my top 10 without. Oh, I love this song. Oh man,
We're all going quiet
I
listening
know.
to
How
this.
could I have forgotten this one?
Such a great song from a Muppet, really.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Paul
it's a beautiful
Williams
song,
was the
isn't
guy
it?
that wrote it, wasn't he?
Say it again, sorry, Pa.
Paul Williams
Right,
Yeah.
was the guy that wrote it. Such a simple
Phantom of the
song.
Paradise and all that.
Yeah. Oh, what a song! Well
It is
done,
a
Rachel.
lovely song, yeah.
You've won the
Great
podcast
choice.
with that one, I think.
We all forgot that one, didn't we?
It nearly could have been my number one, honestly. It was a real toss-up. I do love this song, and yeah, it's hard to hear it without tearing up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's a great movie as well.
It is.
I haven't seen it for ages, but I need to watch that again. Oh, I got to stop. That is a great one. Well done, Rachel. Well done. Go on then, Neil. You're number 2.
So this is a song dedicated to all fathers and father figures out there. It's Pearl Jam's "Man of the Hour." It just sums up what a father is to you. It's a song for a father. I believe they used. I don't believe. I know they used it at the end of Big Fish. The Tim Burton movie. But obviously I was acquainted with it before me, and I'm so excited. And I'm hoping they play it when I see them next week. After 3 years, Rachel, I'm finally seeing Pearl Jam, one of my favorite bands.
Oh,
Yeah, finally.
great.
3-year wait because of things, but it's a wonderful song. I don't think Pearl Jam get the love they deserve anymore. They went. I mean, they're still big when they play live. They draw in the big crowds, but you don't sort of hear radio play of them anymore. And they do a lot more of these sort of songs than people know. And I'd highly recommend people checking out their back catalogue and finding things, like Better Man and Yellow Lead Better and stuff like that. And this song, and especially if you, which you should do, love your dad as much as I know we love ours, and it's a great song.
You sounded like Alan Partridge then.
I did. That's why I laughed myself. Pop pickers.
Yes. Dear.
yeah. Eddie Vedder, his voice. I like his solo work quite a bit too, like his ukulele album or the Into the Wild soundtrack. I think he's.
Have you heard his new
really
album,
talented.
Earthlings?
I have not.
Ooh. You're in for a treat. Invincible, the opening track, I think, is an absolute blinder. But you're in for a treat. Go and check it out. It's brilliant. Yeah, I love Pearl Jam so much. I've got ink of them on my arm.
Oh, you're gonna have so much fun at this concert. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. I'm gonna rock up when the doors open. And I'm gonna stand at the front of the stage. Like, no. But I'm excited.
And there'll be something on the screen that'll say, "I'm sorry, but they've got coronavirus. The gig is off."
I'm still waiting. I've been trying to see them since 1994, Rachel, and everything I've ever done has got in my way. So they announced a tour when I'd already booked to go on holiday, so I couldn't change, so I couldn't go to that. About 5 times when they've done a tour, I haven't been able to get tickets, just they sold out before I've ever been able to get them. They played Reading Festival once, and I couldn't get to go because we were away, as it would be an August bank holiday. So finally, they announced they're doing the Hyde Park gig. I booked my tickets. Fucking COVID. And last year, COVID. So 3 years later, I'm still in. I booked the hotel last week because I finally thought, right, I'm going to do it. I think they're playing. They've announced they're in Europe now. So
that's leaving it a bit late, though, isn't it? Booking the hotel last week.
Yeah. Well, I was so frightened that they'd cancel. I didn't want to be stumped again. I booked an Airbnb, and the bastards never gave me my money back. So for the first year. So I wasn't going to do that. But yeah, I'm really stoked to be seeing them. Really exciting.
Good.
And they put in a good show. They're like Bruce. They do a 3-hour show.
Do they?
Every night, yeah.
Yeah, but the difference is
wow.
that's 3 hours of Pearl Jam. Isn't it?
You've never listened to them.
I have. They were one of the people, the same as Radiohead. I spent an afternoon at work listening to Pearl Jam.
And it never did anything.
It was.
What about this song playing now, or what was playing, Man of the Hour?
Well, I'll have a proper listen to it, and I'll see what I think. But I put like Pearl Jam Essentials on my Apple Music, had a listen, and it just didn't penetrate me.
Yeah. Are you a fan, Rachel?
Yeah, definitely. And I have considered seeing. I think Eddie Vedder plays not with Pearl Jam, but just solo every year here, not too far away, about, 20 miles away at the Ohana Festival. And I almost do it, but I haven't done it yet. So
we'll do it next year. Come on, Pav. We'll take you to Eddie Vedder. I'm coming.
Is that before or after the Johnny Cash Museum?
We'll do it all together. They're all quite close, so we'll be able to drive from one to the other. It's all fine.
I mean, on my map of the world, it only looks like it's that far, so we should be all right. Do that in an afternoon. Okay, my number 2 is "Fix You" by Coldplay. I know it's a bit soppy. No. Also got a great bit where it just builds up at the end. And this is, I love singing this song. This is a great song to sing, but I do tend to get lost a little bit in it and will just close my eyes and just let it go and just, as he just sang. And not really worry if anybody's dancing to it or singing to it. I'll just lose myself and we'll just go for it because it's just a beautiful, beautiful song. I'm wondering whether to play it at the festival that we got in town at the end of August.
Do it.
Singing that.
Do it.
I think I might too. Especially if there's loads of people there. I think that'd be great.
That'd be get them to light their lights.
That would be get their phones out and do that.
Do it. Don't do Angels. Do this.
I'm not going to do Angels. No, I'm not going to do Angels.
No, because this is a beautiful song.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of Coldplay's best songs.
I think it is. For me, it is Coldplay's best song. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
Coldplay fan, Rachel?
I can't. I know. I feel like I'm going to be kicked off this podcast, but I do not like Coldplay.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think the radio here just played them to death.
Right.
And whatever song was in Grey's Anatomy is the same. It was just like, okay, I can't. It got overplayed, I think, is what killed it for me.
I can see that. I'm not. I like. I don't know, probably half a dozen of their songs.
You're the same as me then, Pav. There's a handful that I really like, that Yellow being one, which was the original song, but a lot of them are dire shite. They just drab, I think is the word.
And I think some of them are also written and produced because they're to be played in stadiums. Do you know what I mean? Or they're going to be used in an advert. That's why I get the feeling that sometimes they're like that.
And also, sorry, I was also going to say, Chris Martin, I don't think has got a very good voice.
He's not got a classically great voice, but he's got, again, one of those voices, as soon as he sings, it's Chris Martin.
But watching some of his live footage, I've really not been impressed with his singing.
No. But then he's...
Not that you give a shit.
He's got millions in the bank, Neil, and we're doing a podcast on a Wednesday evening. So,
I know what I'd rather be doing.
Oh, exactly.
Because we would be talking to Rachel.
Exactly, especially with Rachel. Although if we have millions, we could be going over and visiting Rachel with that wonderful beach and the wonderful sea.
And then go into that festival.
And then go into Johnny Cash's museum, But you can't have
I'll tell you.
There it is. Look at that.
Millionaires over there.
Anybody that is listening to this on the podcast, please go to our YouTube channel and just go and see that, because the view is unbelievable. And Rachel wakes up to that every day.
I'm so lucky. And actually, I have to go back now that we've seen the view. Paul Williams, who wrote Rainbow Connection. I did say that right, but right, Paul Williams. Yeah. He apparently lives on that island over there.
No.
Never seen him in the flesh, but that little man is on that island. So.
Wow.
Oh, we're definitely going
I mean,
now. Then.
does he own that island? Because he probably has enough money to own that island, I would have thought.
Maybe. No, but he just has a house. And to tell you the truth, the houses there are not especially huge. It's just that they all come with docks and boat property, and they're gorgeous and old and beautiful. But yeah, I think the most expensive house there went for like 12 million or something along those lines.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and they're small, they're tiny little lots. You can reach out and touch your neighbor. So
Really? Is there a bridge from the mainland to the island? Because I'd love it if there was, and it's called the Rainbow Connection. I would love that. Wouldn't that be great if they called
I would
that?
suggest that at city council.
Yeah,
There you
that
are,
wouldn't,
yeah.
and then you'd know that he lives there, wouldn't you? Because you think, hang on a minute, Paul Williams has got to live here if that's called the Rainbow Connection. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so I've done my number 2. So before we reveal our number 1s, then Rachel, do you want to just give us a countdown, your countdown from 10 to 2, please?
Absolutely. All right, we've got Nothing Better by the Postal Service at number 10. Number 9 is The Crane Wife 3 by the Decemberists. 8 was Trouble by Cat Stevens. 7 is Your Best American Girl by Mitski. 6 was Samson, Regina Spektor. 5 is Every Little Hair Knows Your Name by Jens Lechman. 4 was Danny Song by Loggins and Messina. 3, I shared with Neil, Hurt, Johnny Cash. And 2 was The Rainbow Connection by that famous frog.
Yay! Yeah, go on then, Neil. You're 10 to 2.
Okay, so number 10, Radiohead.
Radio, that's more like it. Radiohead.
Radiohead.
That's it.
Fake Plastic Trees. Number 9, Marillion, Sugar Mice. Number 8, Damien Rice, 9 Crimes. Number 7, REM's Everybody Hurts. Number 6, Joy Division, Atmosphere. Number 5, Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush, Don't Give Up. Number 4, Johnny Cash, Hurt. Number 3, Eels, Manchild. Number 2, Pearl Jam, Man of the Hour.
Lovely. And mine is number 10, Ashes, Celine Dion. 9, Hopipola by Sigur Rós. 8, Hello by Adele. 7, You'll Never Walk Alone, Jerry and the Pacemakers, or The Cop at Anfield. 6, Nouvelle Bianchi, Ludovicio Einaudi. 5, From Now On, The Greatest Showman. 4, David's Song, Robbie Williams. 3, When She Loved Me, Sarah McLachlan. And 2, Fix You by Coldplay. So, Rachel, what is your number 1 song that makes you cry?
Every single time. Gone Away by The Offspring. And
Okay.
The Offspring, I think, are one of those SoCal bands. I think they're from Orange County. They're known for really silly songs, like Pretty Fly for a White Guy, but this song is just a tearjerker, and it's about death and loss and those things. I don't know. It just gets me. It chokes me up all the time. And I did peek ahead. Somebody had mentioned it in the honorable mentions, so apparently I'm not the only one.
Is it what makes it something that makes you cry? Is it goes back to your early days or a specific memory? I mean, you don't have to share with us if it's personal, obviously.
Yeah, no, it must. I've been listening to Offspring since I was 10, 11 years old, so I guess it must be somewhat nostalgic. But I think just the intensity in his voice, in Dexter's voice, and the way he delivers the song, it hits me to the core. So
I have to say, I think I only know Pretty Fly for a White Guy, and was there another big hit that they had in
Get a Job or whatever it is, or
Yep.
that would be the other one then. Now they're not the ones that did the cover of Smooth Criminal, are they?
No, that was Alien Ant Farm.
Alien Ant Farm, that's right. I always get those mixed up. Okay, I'm going to give that one a listen. Definitely give that one a listen, because that looks like, I mean, as Neil said, it might be a bit too heavy for me, mightn't it, Neil? I mean,
Well, I've never known you like any sort of heavier music. Not criticizing. It's not your forte, is it? It's not your style.
Well, I mean, like, isn't the Eagles heavy? I'm joking. I mean, I like some of Bon Jovi stuff, but I suppose that's not even classed as heavy, is it? I suppose that's just rock. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you Bon Jovi. That's rockish. There you are.
It's rockish. It's rockish. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Rachel. Go on then, Neil. You're number one.
The Dead Kennedys, Too Drunk to Fuck. No, I'm joking. I'm really joking. Honestly, I'm joking.
No, hang on. I need to listen to that one. Is that actually a song? Or
that is a genuine song. I love the Dead Kennedys. I really do, and I absolutely love the Dead Kennedys.
Oh my god, there is a song called "Too Drunk to Fuck." I don't believe.
Yeah, it's a genuine song. They released it as a single. When you go to their tour, you buy the T-shirt with it all on. No, it's Let's Change It Down. It's actually Leonard Cohen, and it's If It Be Your Will. I always think everybody has a funeral song in their head. I know it sounds really morbid, but I'm sure we've all got a song we would like to be played at our funeral, and this would be mine.
Sorry, what was it called again?
If It Be Your Will. It's on the Various Positions album.
Okay, keep talking.
Yeah, I think it's just a beautiful song. Now, I know everybody doesn't like Leonard Cohen, and people can be dismissive of him and everything, but I grew up listening to Leonard Cohen, and his last album, If You Want It Darker, was very much like Johnny Cash's last album to me. You knew he was at the end, but he still did it. But this song, it's like I said, it's what I call my funeral song. I want it played when I'm burnt to a crisp. And this is the one. That's all I can say about it. But yeah.
Okay, Rachel's looking at you beautiful. With a very quizzical look on her face.
Do you not like Leonard Cohen?
I sure am. No, Leonard Cohen is completely fine. That's not the problem. The problem is I don't have a funeral song picked out.
All right. I thought
I need one. I guess I do.
Yeah, there you go. There's you will be thinking about that now. But I thought most people did.
Yeah.
Does this do anything for you, Pam?
Yeah. Well, I need to listen to it properly, I have to say. Again, along with Joy Division and Radiohead, and I don't quite get Leonard Cohen.
Right.
I don't quite. I mean, I'm sure his lyrics are beautiful and the melodies are beautiful, but he seems to sing the same note. Is that sort of the way that he sings?
His last album you'll probably detest. I mean, he was on the way out, and his voice was never sounded so deeper.
Oh right.
It's almost like what's his name in Paint Your Wagon? Lee Marvin.
Oh, Lee Marvin. Jeez.
Yeah, it's almost down as low as that. But to me, this album is up there as probably one of my favorite of his albums, Various Positions. It's the one that had Hallelujah on.
Right.
Which unfortunately has been a little bit tainted for me because it's just been covered to death and everybody wants to do it.
Yeah.
Version. But I still stand by Leonard Cohen's version is by far the best.
But then isn't that the mark of a good song, is that so many people want to cover it?
Yeah. And it is a great song. Great lyrics, as you said. He's a songwriter, definitely a poet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An acquired taste, though, you'd say.
Yeah. But again, you speak to so many people, and they love Leonard Cohen. When you find out that they've discovered and they've fallen in love with it. It's not
wonderful.
All melancholy and dull and depressing. It really is. He does do a lot of uplifting stuff as well.
I hope that nobody listens to this that is sorting out your funeral and accidentally just cuts it to the bit where you said the Dead Kennedys. So then when you're dead, that song comes on.
Do you know, that would appeal to me. If anybody knows my sense of humor, that would make me laugh.
If the unthinkable happens, Neil, right, I'm going to edit this podcast and say, look, this was Neil's final thing that he wanted. And I'll edit it so that you saying, well, my funeral song is edit the Dead Kennedys. I said he was adamant that that's what he wanted. So I'm afraid,
But then the people that know me, I mean, obviously my parents, they'd be long gone. Obviously. Oh, I hope.
Well,
But people that know me would probably say, "Yeah, that's probably Neil." We do know he loves the Dead Kennedys. So.
Yeah. Don't worry, mate. I'll sort it out for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Okay, my number one. I mean, look, if we're doing music, it's got to be Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it's Quiet Uptown from Hamilton. Like I say, we went and saw this at the West End in London last year, and I'm so glad that I was wearing a mask because people couldn't see. They couldn't see me sobbing like a 6-month baby that just hurt his foot. The West End version isn't as good as Lin-Manuel Miranda doing it, and watching it on Disney Plus when you can watch it there. The moment when his wife takes his hand, when it's the forgiveness bit, and the way that he plays that is heartbreaking. It just is, and it's all about, again, it's about loss, it's about redemption, it's about being forgiven as a family, as a couple, as a person, and there is nothing else. Again, sat in my car yesterday listening to this, and I hadn't listened to it for a while, and I hate to say that this wasn't even in my top 10 to start with, and it was only because of the honorable mentions. Somebody mentioned it, and I thought, how have I forgotten to put this in my top 10? And then when I looked at it, I thought, this is my number one, because I cry every time I hear this song. Every single time. Hey?
You better turn it off.
Yeah, I will turn it off now.
Because you're going to start blubbering.
I will, Neil. Fuck your Dead Kennedys. This
No,
is what it's
too
all
drunk
about.
to fuck.
And so, I mean, look, Lin-Manuel Miranda does it again. He gets to the top of my chart again, probably like 50% of every chart we've done. Even best James Bond movies I think I did was Lin-Manuel Miranda. So it's just the way it is.
Are you a fan, Rachel?
I've seen Hamilton on Disney Plus once. It was very good. I enjoyed it. I am not maybe the fan that it seems like the rest of the world is, but hey, each their own,
Absolutely.
It was very well done.
Here we go. Guilty confession. I still haven't watched it.
Have you not? No. See, I'm not a hip hop fan. I'm not a rap fan. When we obviously it was right in the start of lockdown when I thought I'm going to watch it. I had no idea what it was about. I thought it was about black people working in the government for America when America was first started. I didn't realize what it was, and I was absolutely blown away just by the sheer amount of words that these guys and girls had to learn to perform it. It was just mind-boggling. So the first time I watched it, I thought, what are they doing? This is crazy. And then I've been in love with it ever since. I just have. It's just a fantastic piece of art, I would say. Right, we've done that. Now we need to get through these honorable mentions. Unfortunately, I did have to have a cut off because I had so many. So we're going to fire through these. Here we go. Gabrielle Gonzalez says Babe by Styx. What a tune. I don't know, Rachel, have you ever heard Babe by Styx?
I don't know that one.
Oh, it is a fantastic tune. Neil?
Yeah, I think so.
Babe, I'm leaving. Must be on my way. Oh, it's just a great song. It says, reminds me of my mum. She passed away in 2004. I just can't do it. Michelle Hawley said, I am not a country fan, but In My Daughter's Eyes by Martina McBride kills me, and not because it's country, because it's sad. And also, okay, it's a show tune, so don't come at me, but So Big, So Small from Dear Evan Hansen. I've never seen that. I don't know. Any of you guys seen that? No. And also she says, I asked my husband and he literally cries every time he hears When She Loved Me by Sarah McLachlan. Also Her Diamonds by Rob Thomas, because it reminds him of a personal health scare I had. Carl Pavo, that's me. Maybe we just cry a lot in my family. Anyway, trying to help. Thank you very much there, Michelle, for that one. Sarah Brown says, Adele, Someone Like You always makes me cry every time. And she also wants to add One More Light by Linkin Park. Alma Rodriguez said, agree with all of the above, but for me, when I need a good cry, I play the Schindler's List soundtrack. So haunting and emotional. I only do it every rare while, though. It's just too much in the feels. I think it is. I mean, we did that last week, didn't we, Neil? Talking about Schindler's
Spielberg
List.
movies.
Yeah. Maria Essel's Klein says, Chris Stapleton, Fire Away. Heidi Grande says, as I've gotten older, Landslide by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, beautiful song.
Stephen Patrick Scanlon said Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time, classic tune. At Tufty 2222, Old Tige by Jim Reeves. Old Tige, Tige.
Okay.
Anybody? No.
Heard of Jim Reeves.
She does say YouTube if you haven't heard it. Oh my God, brings me to tears every single time. At Kojak Hat said Some Fantastic Place by Squeeze and Keep Me in Your Heart by Warren Zevon. At Chatty Geek HT says, I'd be terrible at this one. Not much of a crier when it comes to music. Somebody in your wheelhouse there, Neil. Our new Patreon topper, Lindsay Pananen. Colorblind by Counting Crows. Lua by Bright Eyes. Videotape by Radiohead. A Lack of Color by Death Cab for Cutie. And Breathe Me by Sia. Nancy Trickle. Beth Kiss and Skin Oingo Bongo. Boingo Boingo.
Ongo Bongo.
What was that all about?
We'll have a bit of Ongo Bongo. Wasn't that a drink?
Boingo. Oh,
Danny
Lord.
Elfman is screaming somewhere.
Yes. Get the name of my band right. Andy Beaton said, way more songs are bummers than actual tearjerkers. Right, this is tough. This Woman's Work by Kate Bush, she said. And Moments of Pleasure. That lady is real good at the feels. Chris Wellenger, I avoid music that makes me cry except for going to live theatre. No One Is Alone from Into the Woods gets me, not so much the film. Yeah, have you ever seen Into the Woods, the film? Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh dear, I struggled to finish that one.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that at all. We went to the cinema for that.
And me. And the people who I was with, we were all sat there and I was thinking, oh God. Little did I know they were sat there thinking, oh God, if we'd have only just looked at each other and spoken, we could have left and not enjoyed it.
You both staying just because you didn't want to.
Yeah, we thought the other one was really enjoying it.
Yeah. Jan Lerner DeFeo said Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Hey, there's one for Beam. And Silver Springs, Fleetwood Mac. And also Sound of Silence, the Disturbed version. That was very close to my top 10.
It's a
that one
version.
Very close. At Nick Boyd Guitar said, Pav, how the devil are you, buddy? Long time no see here. This may sound like an odd answer, but a piece that makes my eyes leak is a particular version of the carol In the Bleak Midwinter by the Freckleton Brass Band. There you go. You can't get more English than the Freckleton Brass Band. Yeah, I might put that on the video playlist as well, I think, if I can find it. Maria Pereira says, Gone Away by Offspring makes a husband cry every time. There you go. And for me, Bring My Flowers Now by Tanya Tucker. Okay, Larry Sala says, in no particular order or best of worst, Rise Against, Make It Stop, especially when you watch the video. Teddy Swims, Simple Things. Chris Stapleton, Either Way, and Maggie's song. Tim McGraw, Don't Take the Girl. But the biggest tearjerker for me, I'm talking Blubber Out Loud and Drool. Tim McGraw and Dog On. Blubber Out Loud and Drool. That sounds like they should have been playing at Glastonbury at the weekend. Anna Cochran says Billy Vera and the Beaters. At this moment, it was my parents' song right before they decided to split. And then in brackets, again. Oh dear, that sounds like there's a big story behind that. We'll have to ask Anna next time we have her on the pod. Scott Nicanor says, Wake Me Up When September Ends, Green Day. My cousin passed about 15 years ago, and Green Day was his favourite band. Still brings me to tears. Janine Bender, Brick, Ben Folds 5, and Somebody, Depeche Mode. Dave Williams, Johnny Cash and Hurt, and Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush, Don't Give Up. Look at that, two of yours that you both had there.
Ah, bless.
Susie Wilson Krill said, Sarah Beth, it's a Rascal Flatts bonus track. I dare you not to ugly cry. Okay. And Supermarket Flowers by Ed Sheeran made me cry when I first heard it, then brought on a whole new meaning of bawling when my mama passed away suddenly from an aneurysm. Oh, we're sorry about that, Susie.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Mel Soto, Wild Horses, The Rolling Stones. One day my mum had it on the kitchen and she sang the lyric, "Let's do some living after we die," to my dad. My parents are dreamers, and knowing how hard we've struggled with money, I would give anything to send them on a dream trip anywhere in the world. Oh, Mel. Jeff Flores. So I finally subscribed to the podcast, only to find out today's topic is songs that make you cry. Well, shit. Mine is Tears in Heaven. That is all. Okay, and Candle in the Wind, only because it makes everybody hurt. Oh, well done, Jeff, and welcome to the podcast. Yes, Christopher French says, live, lightning crashes, gets me every time. Audrey Pearson, Daniel by Elton John. My sister's name is Danielle, and when I was a kid, I always imagined it was a sad song about her being dead. It always gets me because sad songs say so much, you know. Oh, well done, Audrey. Not well done for thinking that your sister was dead, but well done for the sad song says so much. Ags Teague said the live version of Depeche Mode's Somebody. Angie Zimardo says My Immortal, Evanescence. Kristin K. Borgia, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye by Boyz II Men and Back to Black by Amy Winehouse. Lisa Gunter Marks, M-A-R-C-Z, Marks. Okay. When She Loved Me, Sarah McLachlan.
I'm still trying to figure out what a Z is.
I can't help but think of Toy Story 2 scene anytime I hear it, and it kills me. And It's Quiet Uptown, Hamilton. I've heard it a ton and still can't get through the song without crying. Dear Theodosia, Hamilton, How I Feel About My Kids. Hallelujah, Jeff Buckley version. We use the chorus as part of a slideshow when my grandma passed away, and the song always makes me tear up. Catherine Igarashi. One, Calexico with Iron and Wine. 16, maybe less. There's a line that goes, and though and autumn time lullaby sang our newborn love to sleep. That reminds me of missed chances. And 2, Death Cab for Cutie. I Will Follow You into the Dark. Always gets teary when they close a show with this one. Kendra Gross Tapia. Last Kiss, but only the Pearl Jam cover version. And It's Quiet Uptown from Hamilton. Sarah Faye Rotter, we're nearly there. Sarah Faye Rotter, there are so many, and you can all name some great ones above. 2 that I immediately thought of are Queen, These Are the Days of Our Lives, and James Taylor, You Can Close Your Eyes. At SP_film viewers, Don't Go Away by Kate Rusby, beautiful cover of the Oasis song, which has special meaning as my partner was going away on a long business trip to Australia, and it clashed when we planned to go and see her perform when the album was released. Single tear. And finally, Jill Hett. For me, the most emotional songs have to do with sentimentality and context, not the actual song. That said, there are 3 that get me in the feels. One I mentioned above is Remember When by Alan Jackson. It's all about the passing of time and just kills me. Another is It's Quiet Uptown from Hamilton. There's a Kelly Clarkson version. Kelly Clarkson! I just liked the song before I watched Hamilton. Then knowing what it's about, someone died unexpectedly, just changes the whole perspective. Lastly, Desperation by Judith Hill. In the midst of my deepest depression, this was one song I've legitimately sobbed to. The last 2 I mentioned both have an element of inspiration attached to them, which for me is what makes them that much more devastating. That you have to get past something terrible to have any sense of normalcy. Oh, and Say Something by A Great Big World and Christina Aguilera too. Sigh. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, everybody. Sorry if I didn't get to read yours out, but there were just so many. But we really appreciate everybody sending those in. So thank you so much.
And I've just suddenly thought there is a person who sings that makes me cry when I hear him. Justin Bieber. I bloody.
You're just being nasty now, aren't you?
No, he's a twat.
For a split second, I thought you was going to say me. Then I really thought you was going to say me.
No.
So there we go. That's it. We've done it. We finally got to the top 10 songs that make us cry. There wasn't a single tear. Was there? We did all right. I think we did okay. I had a box of tissues here, all ready and waiting. I'm not going to tell you why I've got a box of tissues in here. I'm not going to tell you the reason.
Nearly made that joke.
Rachel is covering her eyes. So before we say our goodbyes, Neil, do you want to tell everybody how they can get in touch with us?
Yes, absolutely. You can find us on all the social media at Top 10 Pods. Do come and give us a click, give us a like, give us a follow, or whatever the hell you do on those things. Email us at top10pods@hotmail.com with any suggestions, questions, or whatever you want to ask us. Come and help support the podcast at patreon.com/top10pods, where you can get all sorts of rewards like being a guest yourself on the podcast. Check out all the links via the Linktree. You can find the link in the show notes. And please do come and subscribe, leave us a review and rating wherever the damn hell you get your podcast from.
Beautifully done, Neil. Almost like you was reading that off a card then. That was amazing. Well, Rachel, have you had fun?
You know what? For a show about sad songs, I was not expecting to laugh this much. You two are delightful. I would love to come back and do something not quite so sad.
No. I was going to ask
really
ask if you'd come back again, and we'll choose something really, really happy. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll all be like probably really down doing that happy one. But yeah, thank you so much for your support. And we will have you back like a shot. So we will sort out another date and time, sort out another subject. And like I say, just thank you so much for your support. And again, as Neil said, the Patreon is there. If you look in the show notes, we've just recorded another 10-minute top 10, which is one of the bonus episodes that we put up on our podcast on the Patreon. And there's also video playlists that go along with the episodes. There's other little bits and pieces that we put up there, and you get the episodes early as well and ad free. So that's it for another episode. Rachel, again, thank you so much. Go and enjoy that beach. Go and enjoy the sunshine and the sea. Go and paddle over to Paul Williams' house, knock on his door, cross that rainbow.
Pay him a visit.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you, Rachel. It's been an absolute joy. We'll see you at the Ohana Festival. Is it Ohana or Ohana?
Oh, and Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
And then the
Ohana.
Johnny Cash. Yeah. Oh, I would come to that. He plays every year. So I'll be there. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you and be acquainted. Thank you very much, Pav.
Thank you very much, Neil. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening and watching. And let's go start the countdown.
10,